Welcome back, everybody. All right, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to give you some exercises. This is back to basics, simple but not easy. These are rhythmic exercises and concepts that you can use to improve your rhythmic acuity. That's a fancy word for rhythmicity. And that's a fancy word for just being better at rhythm. All right, I'm Kalani. This is World Drum Club. Welcome back. We all struggle at some point with rhythm. In fact, I would argue that rhythm, creating different rhythms, playing in rhythm, syncopation, feel, those are all aspects of music, and especially instrumental music, but also vocal music, any kind of music making that people often struggle with. And it's a lifelong pursuit, and wherever you are in the journey is fine. We're all on the path, right? So let me help you by giving you some simple things you can try to develop your rhythmic muscle and get better at playing different rhythms. Not because it's a competition, but because when you play music, you want it to be good quality, and good quality rhythmically, melodically, harmonically, everything. So here's what you can do. Use a click. I've just got a simple click here. You can use anything. You can use a beat, but I like the simple click. So I've got one here, and it's got a little like triangle sound at the 1, 3, 4, 1. But even just a basic click is fine. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start to play to that click in ways that are first simple and easy. For example, doing eighth notes or subdivide it in half, right? So something like this. Back and forth, simple, easy. Now, once you're able to do this, and if you're not able, I'm going to pause right here. If at any point you're not feeling like you're able to kind of get it at least like 90%, 85, 90%, which is what, a B plus, A minus level, then simplify, slow down, back it up, and then until you can get it to like a B, a solid B, all right? 80, 85% before you move on, all right? That's my advice. Let's move on. So that's the first step. And how do you know? Make a recording, listen to it, ask somebody, am I playing in time? Does this sound like I'm playing in rhythm to you? Or make a recording, listen back to it yourself. Or both of those things. So once you're able to just entrain with the main beat on eighth notes, then start to have some fun. So we're going to use what we call 16th notes and combinations of 16th notes, subdivisions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And now we're going to start to use different combinations of those. But we're going to start off by doing what I think of as anchoring. And an anchor is a note that's on that main beat, one of these beats. These are your anchor beats for now. So the first thing you can do is use a 16th note and do what we call a pickup note. I think that's one of the easiest, besides eighth notes, which split the 4 directly in half. But now we can do, for example, 2, 3, 4. Ga-dun, 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 ga-dun. Right, so you could be thinking. 3, 4, 1, 2. And it may help you to do what I was just doing, which is what we call playing ghost notes or little touches. But what I'd like you to try to do ultimately is to not do that and just have the two notes. A 1, a 2, a you know what to do, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Okay, so that's the first kind of exercise. Now, from there, let's move that set of 2, and we're going to move it earlier. You could do it later, but earlier I think is a little bit easier. What do I mean by that? We're going to start, instead of 1E and a 2, 1E and a 2, da 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 da, we're going to shift that bump bump. We're going to shift it forward or earlier in time by 1/16 notes. 1/16th note. And what that's going to do is it's going to turn ba 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 into ba 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 ba, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a, which is a common kind of rhythm, especially like in reggae. 1 and a 2 and a, whether it's swung or not. Let's hear that and let's try that. And you guys can try this with me. So think, feel it. Right? Okay, so if you need to, you can slow it down. That's fine. We're going kind of medium fast here. It could be faster though. So speed, tempo is another issue. I'm going to let you guys manage that for yourselves. But obviously, if you're struggling at this tempo, just try it on your own a little bit slower. All right, now let's shift it again. And that's going to be, we're going to do that in 2 parts. And here's where the kind of anchoring idea comes in. So shifting it forward again would sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 1. One EN, 2 EN, 3 EN. However, that might be a little difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to first anchor on the beat and we're going to play those 2 other notes. So we're going to play 3 notes. 2, 3, 4. Pretty easy, right? That's because we're anchoring on the downbeat. And then drop the anchor or lift the anchor and sail away. 3. I'm sorry. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. All right? That's kind of a difficult one. It's very syncopated, or what we call off the beat, right? But you can use the beat as a guide, as kind of training wheels to help you find the position, find the orientation, we call it, to the beat, and then get the figure, focus on first all 3, da-ka-ta, 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 and then shift the accent and the focus to the second 2, da-da, 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 right? I hope that makes sense. All right, so now we have one more shift, and that would be starting on the beat, but still, it's kind of syncopated. Yeah, here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Yeah, not super easy, but as an exercise, this kind of thing helps you with internalizing the main beat while you're externalizing something else, something syncopated, something off the beat. So it really invites you and asks you to feel the pulse while you're doing something else. Even listening to something else is a step in that direction towards rhythmic mastery or rhythmic acuity. Now, I'm going to leave you with one more goal, one more exercise, and that is we're going to shift what we started off doing, which was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? We're going to shift that 1/16th note sooner. So instead of playing on the 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and, instead of there, we're going to play on the E's and the U's. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, now here's what it sounds like with the click. 3 and a 4 and a duck, a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Yeah. So even I'm kind of sliding around, I'm just trying to have fun. And that's, I wanted to model that, and that is kind of making something a little more challenging by shifting hand, switching hands, doing one hand, kind of challenging yourself to do it differently. So yeah, I was even sliding around there towards the end. But that's the idea. All right. So for those of you who need more challenge, which maybe some of you do, maybe most of you probably don't, need to make that even harder than it is already. But let's recap. So if you need more challenge, you can do something, with one hand only, the other hand, shift back and forth, do 2 in one hand, 2 in the other, change it up while you're doing any of these exercises, of these rhythmic figures, while you're applying these to this metronomic beat. And then, of course, at the other end, moving the other direction, if you need to simplify, do one of the ones that's easier for you. You can slow it down. You can use anchor beats. You can anchor it, meaning you can attach another hit. You can put another hit on one of the main beats or on the upbeat, on the ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For example, if you're working on this one, 1 and a 2 and a 3. But it might help to attach it back to the downbeat. And then drop the downbeat. Right? I hope that makes sense. So you can use that idea of an anchor note. And then, tempo we talked about. You can slow it down. That might make it easier. Sometimes speeding things up makes it easier. I don't know why. Maybe just the physicality of it. Okay. All right, you guys. So I hope this is helpful. And what you can do is you can practice this kind of thing with any music, right? We're just using a basic click right now. But if I wanted to, I could do a different beat. And this might be easier too to start off, just having. So that's another way you can make it easier. Let me see what else we have. Just a simple beat. Okay, you get the idea. Make it fun, put on some music you like, and that is motivational. So if you're the kind of person that just gets bored with practice, right? Put on music you like, put on music that you want to learn, put on some music that you've never listened to before, anything to make it more interesting. And, it's also been shown in studies with exercise that people who use music with exercise actually exercise longer and more often. And it's the same thing here. So if you want to be motivated to practice and to practice longer and just have a better overall experience, you can use music that you enjoy. And I always recommend that. The only caution with that is that you don't want to have music that's so busy or loud that you can't hear what you're doing. So that's why I like the simple beat also, is that it's very clear, it's very simple. You can hear the rhythmic relationships exactly. So if your music that you're using has too much going on, you might not be able to hear where you're fitting into that or not fitting in to that music, all right, for your own assessment. When you do this, I recommend record yourself or have somebody else there, like a friend, partner, teacher, who can sort of check to see what you're actually doing. Sometimes when we're trying to do something, we're not sure if we're actually doing the thing we're trying to do. So it's good to have a second pair of ears there. And if you're a patron and you'd like me to listen to any of your recordings, you can certainly do that. You can send me a recording, an MP3 or a recording or a link to a video, and I will be happy to give you my 2 cents. Or is it 3 now because of inflation? I don't know. All right, you guys, I hope this is helpful. I'm Kalani. This is World Drum Club. See me at patreon.com/Kalani for more and to connect with me more. And thanks for watching. And please like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell to get notifications, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. See ya.